Alrighty, if your son or daughter just sent you this video, that means that they're going through our interview process and we're most likely considering hiring them. Now, if you are a parent watching this, the questions at the top of your mind are probably pretty simple. Is my child going to be safe? Will they be supported? And will they actually grow from this? Those questions are exactly why this internship is structured the way it is. For 7 years now, we've run a supervised summer internship that places college students into real world sales roles that have a ton of structure, really clear expectations, and, well, good or bad, a lot of oversight. The goal is pretty straightforward though. Help them develop practical communication skills and help them learn how to manage themselves in a really demanding environment. Ultimately, the outcome of that is that they're going to earn a meaningful income while doing so. And we'll talk more about that. You might be wondering though, what's in it for us? Why are we running an internship program? And the honest answer is we're just playing the long game. The best talent we can hire in the future is the talent that we can develop now. If we give your child a genuinely good experience, we help them build skills, and the pay is competitive for their effort, the odds that they choose to come and work for us another summer, they go up dramatically. And in a typical year, for about every 10 students who finish the full summer, roughly 4 of them return to work for us for at least one more year. And that's how our business grows. With that said, this is not a loosely organized side gig. It's a structured internship ran by experienced leaders that have systems built around safety training and accountability. The people leading your child have all done this for multiple summers themselves. They've done this for multiple years and they've succeeded at a very high level. And that's important because I want you to know that we haven't just hired some random people that have experience in other sales fields that are going to be sitting in a remote desk telling your child what to do. They're going to be doing the same exact thing as your child. Now, in terms of the work, here's what the work actually looks like. Interns are going to be spending the summer talking to homeowners just like yourself, explaining a licensed professional pest control service. Now, they're selling a real service. You guys might have pest control yourselves right now. And I just want you to know that all of the partner companies that we represent, they're fully licensed and they are insured pest control companies. Many of them have 7 or 8 figure valuations. Now, in terms of the area that they're going to be working, it's all pre-approved neighborhoods where we already have an existing customer base. So the companies are, well, they've got rapport. There should be some brand recognition. So it's not like your kid's drumming up business from companies that they've never heard of before. And the compensation is commission based. So as they sell more accounts, they earn more. A common concern with door-to-door sales roles is that people assume there's some kind of multi-level marketing scheme. And I want to be clear about how this actually works. When an intern refers a friend who is interviewed and hired, the company pays a simple 1-level referral bonus as a thank you. And you guys probably would want that because if your son or daughter, if they refer us another sales rep that comes out and does, 200,000 in revenue, that helps the company a ton. So wouldn't you expect us to at least give something to your kid? Because we certainly pay corporate recruiters pretty well. So if your son or daughter acts as a corporate recruiter, why would we not pay them? Now that bonus, to be clear, does not reduce anyone else's commissions. So the person that they refer, it doesn't come out of their comp. And there are no multi-level downlines. So if your son or daughter recruits somebody else and that somebody else recruits somebody else, they're not getting paid on all of those people. Okay, so there is no multi-level schemes. From a safety standpoint, structure matters more than promises. And so interns only work in pre-approved neighborhoods, like I said, that are reviewed in advance. And although they work independently during the day, they're always within a few streets of their teammates and their managers. Which on that note, managers are reachable at all times. Even though they're going to be knocking doors themselves and shadowing and ghosting other reps, they'll be available. But even if they're not available, we also have a full-time support team at HQ where interns can call, a dedicated support line anytime they need help. So there's never going to be a situation where your son or daughter can't get a hold of the necessary people. In 2025, we had 327 students knock their first door with us. Pretty proud of that. That number will go up this year. Now, across the 5 years that Grit has been in business, safety issues in the field have certainly been rare and definitely minor. Now, in terms of what those instances look like, usually it's just like an aggressive dog or a homeowner that's a little bit rude. And we do have clearly defined protocols for the situations where someone is rude or there is an aggressive dog. The standard procedure is always de-escalate, remove yourself from the situation, and then involve leadership if necessary. Okay. Now we will help. Let's say your son or daughter is from New York and they're getting assigned to Atlanta, Georgia, which is a phenomenal market. We will help coordinate with other student interns that we hired from New York if they decide to, travel down to Atlanta together. So we can help coordinate relocation so that students travel in groups whenever possible. Let me say that again because I kind of tripped up there. I was getting in my own head. Now we can help coordinate relocation so students can travel in groups whenever possible. And all travel expectations are outlined in the agreement, which, by the way, your son or daughter should already have at this point in the process. At this point, they've been through a group info session, they've been through our one-on-ones, and we've decided that it's probably a good fit. So they're going to be sending this over to you. Now for housing, students can either arrange their own place or, and we encourage this, they can use company organized housing. Now we use extended stay style hotels with their teams. We've got partnerships with like Hilton, Sonesta, Hyatt. They're nicer places in nice parts of towns. Now there are housing costs. It depends on the year. You're probably watching this in 25 or 2026. This year costs should come in right around $950 per month. So for 3 months, it'll be a little under $3,000. We do give bonuses based on clear performance benchmarks. And those bonuses are designed to cover most of or all of housing costs. Same thing with relocation. Reps will, drive out to market, collect the receipts, hand them over to the manager as soon as they get there. Now, as soon as they've spent 6 weeks on the job with us, we'll reimburse them $500. So usually they make a little bit of money on the relocation bonuses. Now, our training program is pretty extensive and it is evergreen, so we continue to add to it over time. Before the summer begins, interns complete online modules. They do a lot of role playing with leaders. There are safety and like licensing stuff that they've got to go through, and all the coaching is very structured because that's, they're sales managers. That's their full-time job. They've done this for 1, 2, 3, 4 summers, and they've shown us that they're good at selling and leading and managing, and so this is all they do. So the coaching is very, very structured. Once the summer starts, however, there is tons of on-the-doors training, not only from their managers, but other experienced reps. And the regular feedback that interns receive is more consistent than really any other traditional internship, and certainly part-time jobs. Now, most days involve about 6 to 8 hours in the field, Monday through Friday, with a half day on Saturdays. There's no knocking on Sundays, but so Monday through Saturday, it's pretty straightforward. We do have trainings morning and nights that kind of make the days a little bit longer. But as long as your son or daughter is good to walk, they can physically do this job. There's no heavy lifting. And if you are wondering, because we sell pest control, there's no exposure to chemicals. Interns are simply explaining the services. They're not necessarily performing them. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I would eventually get to earnings. So let's just go and talk about that. Last summer, 327 students started the program. The middle student finished around $5,000 for the summer. Among students who stayed and sold for 12 weeks or more, which we call the finishing group, the middle student earned $17,000. And the overall average, so if you take the total earnings of all finishers divided by 181, because that's how many people finished this summer, the average earnings was around $33,000. Now, this is a pretty wide range. We're aware of it. That's why I showed you the median and the averages. So for students worried about underperforming, we this year added a $10,000 earnings floor for first-year interns who meet specific requirements. Now, the big thing there is that they just need to finish the summer, because what brings the median down in the 2025 data is all the people that quit in the first 1 or 2 weeks. So we want to detract all of those people, and we want to attract the people that are willing to finish the summer. And that's the people we guarantee earn 10 grand or more. Now, for whatever it's worth, I guess I need to say this, there are no upfront costs, no hidden fees, and pay is handled through direct deposit. The only thing that's not so true about that is that they will need to get themselves out to market, and there is housing costs, which I did mention earlier. Now, we help with all of that. The performance bonuses are meant to offset that cost, but just worth mentioning. This program is designed to help your child learn how to communicate clearly, how to handle rejection, how to manage their time, how to stay consistent, which is really big, and how to carry themselves professionally. So confidence is going to naturally grow through repeated real-world conversations. I don't know how you couldn't have 4,000 conversations in 3 months and become more confident. Like it's naturally going to happen. Most parents that we talk to after the summer, you guys can actually, I'll probably link some parent testimonials somewhere around here. You guys can watch some real parents give testimonials of their kids doing this. A lot of them tell us that their child comes home more responsible and more comfortable speaking with others. Now, if your son or daughter decides that this internship isn't right for them, that's totally fine. They can leave and they'll still get paid for the work that they completed. And if they are pursuing some sort of internship that they need for their college, we will fill out all the necessary papers to make sure that they still get the credit. We won't want to force your kid to do this, even if it's not a good fit and they're miserable, simply because they got to get credit. So we'll help them. If a student is struggling, however, like mentally or emotionally, just keep in mind that our leaders are trained to check in on this stuff pretty regularly, and they will help them navigate that situation. Now, we have checks and balances where we try to do this every 2 to 3 days. So we're going to be more proactive. Every once in a while we miss something, but we're generally pretty good about that stuff. And I want to be clear, there will be difficult moments over the summer. Your son or daughter will likely call you and saying, hey, I'm not sure about this. This is very tough. We just believe that's where their growth happens. And we'll be there to support them. This is why we do these types of videos, to get you guys on board. Tough things is how people grow. And so we just want you guys in support. At the end of the summer, the goal is pretty simple. We just want your child to come home more capable than when they left. And for the right student, this becomes one of the most impactful summers that they'll ever have. And it's simply because it's so structured, it's supervised, and it's challenging in all the right ways. So if you guys want to go deeper, we certainly can. We host parent info sessions where you can ask us directly all the questions. You can put us on the hot seat. And there's literally no pressure to decide. We do try to get your son or daughter into training as soon as possible. So like that's the only reason we want them to decide as soon as possible. But at the end of the day, your child's safety and their support and their growth, that comes first. So without you guys on board, like we typically don't move forward in the interview process and acceptance unless you guys give us the thumbs up. So hopefully this was helpful. My name is Riley. I'll leave my contact somewhere if you guys want to get a hold of us, and you guys can always book a Guardian Q&A. Should be on this video should be on our website. There will be a button where you can book a meeting.